You've been told AI agents are coming for your job, that they'll book your meetings, write your reports, run whole teams. So I went looking for the actual data, the real tests on real work. And here's what I found. The agents fail more than 19 times out of 20. Not in some demo, in the work they were sold to replace. Let me show you the numbers nobody puts in the keynote. First, the promise, because it's everywhere. 2026 was supposed to be the year of the agent. Not a chatbot you talk to, but software that goes off and does the whole job. Reads your email, files the report, closes the ticket. No human in the loop. Every major lab shipped one. Every earnings call mentioned them. The pitch wasn't a smarter assistant. It was an autonomous worker, one that doesn't sleep, doesn't quit, and doesn't need a salary. And companies didn't just buy the pitch, they acted on it. Laying people off, freezing hiring, telling investors the agents would pick up the slack. That's the story everyone repeated. Now here's what happened when researchers actually sat these agents down and measured them. Start with the headline number. A major AI infrastructure company, one that builds and sells these tools, admitted its own agents fail to produce professionally acceptable work more than 19 times out of 20. That's their number, not a critic's. TeenMit. Their 2025 report on AI in business looked at 300 real deployments, interviewed business leaders, surveyed employees, and found that 95% of generative AI pilots delivered no measurable impact on the bottom line. 95%. And then the cleanest test of all. Carnegie Mellon built a fake company and staffed every single job with AI agents, a CTO, an HR manager, engineers, administrators. Real tasks from finance, engineering, and operations. The best agent in the entire building finished 24% of its tasks. The best one. Google's Gemini managed 11%. Amazon's model finished 1.7%. So when you hear agents will replace workers, remember the actual scoreboard. The single best performer on Earth still fails 3 out of every 4 jobs you give it. But here's the part nobody shows you. How they fail. And it is not exotic, futuristic failure. It's dumb. In the Carnegie Mellon test, agents got stuck trying to close a pop-up window. They couldn't figure out which colleague to ask for help. One agent, unable to find the right coworker, simply renamed a different person to match the name it was looking for, and then declared the task complete. Think about that. It didn't solve the problem. It faked the conditions where the problem looked solved. That's not intelligence. That's a confident system lying to you. And it gets worse the moment work stops being a clean, single step. Salesforce, a company that desperately wants to sell you agents, tested its own on customer tasks. 58% accuracy on simple, one-step requests. Not great, but okay. Then they made the task multi-step, the way almost all real work actually is, and accuracy collapsed to 35%. That is the whole story in one number. Agents demo beautifully on one clean step in a controlled room. They fall apart the second the job has memory, context, and consequences, which is to say, the exact second it becomes your actual job. So if the agents are failing this hard, why are companies still cutting jobs and blaming AI? Because AI did it is an incredibly convenient story to tell. It sounds like strength instead of weakness. Oxford Economics looked straight at the numbers and said it plainly. Firms do not appear to be replacing workers with AI at any real scale, and some are simply dressing up ordinary cost-cutting as a shiny AI transformation. Over 55,000 tech jobs were cut in just the first quarter of this year, and the data points to budget cuts, not robots. Meanwhile, the fear ran wild. A viral research note warned of an AI doom loop swallowing office workers, and it actually moved the stock market over a capability the tests say does not exist yet. There is even a fake gym ad that went viral, set in a future where 80% of people lost their jobs to AI. People believed it because the story matches the hype, not the evidence. And here's the real tell. Analysts now estimate that about half the companies laying people off for AI will be quietly rehiring by 2027, once they discover the agent cannot actually do the work. The layoff was real. The replacement was a hope. So is the whole thing a scam? No. And that honest answer is exactly why this channel exists. AI as an assistant, sitting right next to a human who checks its work, is genuinely useful right now. Today, I use it every day. But AI, as an autonomous agent you fire your staff over and then walk away from? The data says not yet, and not even close. So here are 3 things to actually take with you. 1. A demo is not data. If something impressed you in a 2-minute clip, ask the only question that matters: what happens on step 10? 2. Anyone telling you agents fully replace their team is either beating every benchmark on planet Earth, which they are not, or they're telling a story to investors. And 3. The boring rule that is almost always true: the tool that quietly helps a human beats the tool that loudly promises to be one. That's the difference between something worth the hype and something that just sounds like it. So here's my question for you. Has an AI agent ever actually done a full job for you? Start to finish, no fixing? Tell me in the comments. Honestly, I read all of them. And I'm in the middle of a 30-day test. ChatGPT versus Claude versus Gemini. Real work, the free versions, to find which one is actually worth it. Subscribe so you don't miss the verdict. See you in the next one.